Welcome everyone to this user guide related to the Augmented Wear Edu webpage. As you can see, this is the home page of the project. Here you can find all the material related to the project. There is a top bar with different options. We have a page with About Us. We have some news. We have the page where all the source code can be accessed. We have the page with our survey. We have learning resources and publications. In addition to this, our web page has an interface that allows for switching between different languages, specifically all the languages that are from the partners participating to this project. So we have Italian, Portuguese, Romanian, Lithuanian, English, and Norwegian. There is also a login option where the user can log in and access to their own internal page. So let's start exploring all the resources. We can have a look of the About Us page. So here we have a description of the project. It's mostly a summary of the project, describing the main objectives, a little bit of background, the main objectives, and describing also the expected outputs for the project. So we have the assessment tool for educators' competencies. We have the training program for educators on haptics, VR, and AR competencies. And finally, we have the open source library on VR, AR, and wearable haptics. Here we have a nice overview of the project investigators, starting with Filippo Sanfilippo, which is the head of the project from the University of Agder in Norway. Then we have Thomas Blasauskas from Cannes University of Technology. Then we have Jonathan Salvietti from the University of Siena in Italy. Then we have Isabel Ramos from Portugal. We have Silvio Vert from Romania, and two more colleagues from the University of Agder, Jasear Radianti and Tim Marsak. So following up with the next page, we can explore the news page. This is kind of a blog where the project has reported most of the relevant events, most of the multiplier events, and the transnational meetings that we have had. Some news related to the published articles, videos of the recorded meetings, and so on. Following up, we can look at the code page. Basically, there is a link to the repository where all the tutorials and source code related to the implementation of VR, AR, and haptics for STEM education can be found. So let's explore this repository. So as you can see, this is a very simple layout where really we have wrapped all the important information and the tutorials on how we can implement and how we can integrate VR, AR, and haptics for STEM education. This is a very rich content, and it's organized according to topics. So we have an overview where we have like a welcome page on how to implement what we have named the simple Thimble. So this is the simple wearable haptic device that can be 3D printed and can be programmed by using the open source code that the project has provided. So we have the overview of the device, we have the hardware overview, and then we have the next content is related to the 3D printing and all the materials that we need to assemble our wearable device. Then we have an hardware overview with a bill of the materials, with the hardware assembly, and later on we have the firmware content. Here we have an introduction of the firmware part. We have a test code. We have how to get the MAC addresses on the boards. We have the dongle firmware code, and the final simple thimble onboard firmware, and finally the final test for the simple thimble firmware. And later on we have another section where we have organized several VR applications. So for VR applications, we have how we can use the simple thimble in virtual reality, how can we set up our virtual reality software, and how we can connect the simple thimble to the Unity and Leap Motion device. So for this part of the website, actually there is a much more in detail user guide that is part of the intellectual output tree. So if we go back to our main website, we can keep exploring the other pages. So for example, related to intellectual output 1, we have the survey, that it is digitalized and it is available in all different languages. So remember that you can switch language by clicking on this interface. So now we have the survey set in the English language. As you can see, the survey is organized in different categories. We have professional engagement, we have immersive resources, teaching and learning, assessment, we have empowering learners, we have facilitating learners' digital competencies, we have mastering immersive technologies. As you can see, for each of these categories, there is a set of questions with different answers that can be selected. And here on the bottom part, there is a percentage bar regarding the completion of the survey. So as soon as you progress with answering the survey, for example, regarding this question, let's assume that I have answered this, you can see that you have progressed a bit towards the ending of the survey. And if you keep going, after a number of questions, you will activate the next section of the survey, and so on. So let's continue until the end of this survey. I'm just randomly picking some answers so that we can continue until the end of the survey, so that I can show you the final page with the results that we can get. So as you can see, when the survey is completed to 100%, then you will get the survey results. And this is done in a way that you can see different kind of visualizations. As you can see, there is an overview related to the first set of questions, and a very nice way to visualize it with a spider web graph. Then there is the graph related to professional engagement. There is a graph related to immersive resources. There is a teaching and learning related plot. There is a plot related to assessment, another one related to empowering learners. One more on facilitating learners' digital competencies, one more on mastering immersive technologies. So as you can see, this is a very nice way to visualize the survey results. It's a way to actually understand how the user has performed and what are the competencies related to the integration of VR, AR, and haptics for STEM education. So if we can continue to the next page, learning. So this is a very important page of the website. So here we have digitalized the course on integrating VR, AR with haptics into STEM education for multisensory learning. This is the output, the main output of the intellectual output 2. And it is built on the knowledge that was gathered within the intellectual output 1. So as a result of the assessment that we have done on the survey. So the learning resources are then organized in modules. So the course is split in modules. We have module 1 with the introduction to the course. We have module 2 related to virtual reality. Module 3 focused on augmented reality. Module 4 digging into augmented reality. And finally, module 5, which is related to the integration of immersive technologies. So as you can see from this page, the course is nicely organized and we can dig into each of the modules. So for example, if we want to explore module 1, the introduction. So in this page, we have uploaded all the video lessons. As you can see, these are organized into a playlist. So in this case, in module 1, we have 3 videos that can be accessed through this playlist. If we play the video, we can also add subtitles in different languages, and we can explore the content of the video. In this same page, transcripts in different languages are added and can be downloaded. And one more thing is that we can access even the presentation with notes. So to summarize, we have for each module, we have a playlist with video lessons. We have the transcript of these lessons, and we can access the presentation with notes. Finally, we have one more page that is related to the publication. So here we have listed the publications that the project has achieved so far. In particular, we have a journal paper and a conference paper. So as you can see, there is also in all pages, there is a logo to the European Union that has co-founded this project through the Erasmus Plus program. And in all pages, we also have the logo of the project that is this very nice inspiring figure with the human hand and the digital hand touching each other. So I hope you enjoy our web page. Looking forward to receive feedback